Welcome back, CDL fans, to segment 3 of the Car Demolition League's May 24th game day. Leading off segment 3 here, two teams from the Atlantic Division that they were part of a 5-team tie coming into this game day. Now, some of that tie has been broken. We saw Philadelphia defeat Puerto Rico. We saw Miami defeat Washington, so Miami and Philly, both Shane Geiser's squads, moving to 2-1. But now Matt Geiser's Atlanta Avengers at the record of 1-1, taking on Brandon Kuma's defending world champion Tampa Bay Gators, who are also 1-1. So we got a pair of teams that are at the 500 mark trying to get above it. Let's get a look at the lineups. It's Mika. Yep, Mika leading the way for the Atlanta Avengers today, followed by Solar Reflex. Monkey Ball has the captain spot for the Avengers, and at 5-point gainer is Red Drager. Now to the home side. Purple Fire leads the way for the Tampa Bay Gators today, followed by Ratified at the middleman spot. At the captain spot, it's 47 Ronin, and at 5-point gainer, it will be Battle. So the Gators and the Avengers ready to go. Atlantic Division foes. Used to be Southeast Division foes. Is it really not the same thing? Anyways, so here we go. Game is on, and ooh, that one was close. I think there was an interference. They're going to go back to their own sides. No flip in the process, so both teams, I think, they're okay with it. And Mika almost getting flipped that time. Next time, switching side, Mika has a good flip. 5-0. Atlanta in the lead. So that now brings out Ratified for the Gators. Both cars staying up. Yep, they'll keep their own sides here. Battle continuing. A good matchup between these two. And Ratified's down. Mika's on a roll here. 10-0 Atlanta looking for the upset. And 47 Ronin now out there. Going to try to keep the Gators in this game. And he does right there. So the score now 10-5. Gators fighting back. But Solar Reflex with the chance to put it away here for the Avengers. Not going to happen. We are tied at 10. 47 Ronin. Welcome to the game. He is in it here. The seasoned veteran, let's be honest. But now he's taking on another seasoned veteran in Monkey Ball. And that time we definitely had an interference. Ran over his own teammate. But they'll go back to their own sides. And this time a gray shot sends 47 Ronin flying. Out of play he goes. And I gotta do some reaching. It's like a good stretch, like a good abdominal stretch. So anyways, out of play goes 47 Ronin. We are still tied at 10. And just barely out of play yet again. You know, I think the silver paper, even though it looks good aesthetically in my opinion, for a silver season of course, but it's a lot smoother than the fabric that's underneath, so might be switching back to that because it's more grippy and cars have a harder time going out of play with the surface underneath this. So anyways, I mean, it's not that much harder, right? But 10-10 is the score. We continue and both cars stay alive. Not that time. Monkey Ball goes down. 47 Ronin is one flip away from a captain's day. 15-10, the Gators have fought their way back to take a lead and look to get the win. And Red Drager ain't going to be able to do nothing about it. 15-10 the final. What a comeback. And this is the second time, the second game day in a row where a captain has come out and wiped out the whole Atlanta Avengers side. 15-10. Houston did it in the last game day, and now Tampa Bay has done it in this game day. 15-10 the final. Gators get the win over the Avengers. When we come back, speaking of the Houston Oilers, they're on the road next, taking on the San Antonio Defenders. Texas-size rivalry coming up. Stay tuned. Welcome back, CDL fans. Time to get the next game underway. The 2-0 Houston Oilers trying to stay undefeated on the road to take on their in-state rivals, the San Antonio Defenders. Should be an interesting one. Of course, this is really makes it more interesting is that San Antonio is looking for their first win. Wouldn't they love to get their first win by giving Houston their first loss? Well, we're about to find out what happens here. So the Houston Oilers lead the way with Surf Crate Custom, followed by Y at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's Blue Indian at 5-point gainer. it's Sonic Boom. To the home side of the field, Shell will lead the way for the San Antonio Defenders. Following him out there will be Chameleon at the middleman spot. To the captain spot is going to be Aqua Ferrari. And at 5-point gainer is going to be Far Future. So a really heavy line out there for the San Antonio Defenders. So anyways, two low and offensively based cars out there ready to start us off. Surf Crate Custom and Shell. Here we go. Game is on. Both cars stay up. Going at it again, and this time Shell with a good flip. 5-0. Defenders in the lead. Oilers now sending Y out there. 5-0 score. And Shell's going for 2. Can he get it? Y's been pretty good this year. Defensively, holding up here and has a good flip there. And Shell is down. So the score now all even 5 apiece. As that now brings out Chameleon for the Defenders. Ooh, both cars able to stay up. But Chameleon down that time, and Y is 2-0 on the day. 10-5. Houston has taken the lead. So that brings out Aqua Ferrari. He'll be looking to tie this game up. A little too bouncy there. He doesn't want to be too dependent on those springs because they can spell trouble for a car very quickly. It's a heavy car in comparison to Y, but Y is holding his own here. Y versus our Aqua Ferrari, and both cars out of play. So, out of play, both vehicles go, and the score remains right where it was. Both cars out of play. 10-5 still the score. Oilers in the lead looking for the win. Almost a tie game right there. And this time, will it be? Oh my goodness, what a move by Y. You couldn't get much better of an offensive chance. And out of play, Aqua Ferrari was down. But it's going to be to no avail because Y went out of play. So that is going to save Aqua Ferrari. Keep him in this game. Still a 10-5 score. Houston so close to winning it there. And we were close right before that. We were really close to tying it up. That time, an interference almost. Oh, that time, bad roll. That was a bad roll, folks. So the whole collision, the whole process, just voided out. 10-5 still the score as we continue. And a great game going on between these two. The matchup continues. And out of play goes Y that time. So, still 10-5. And almost another flip there. Again, another out of play though. Still 10-5. Match continues. And again, another out of play. Back to their own side as they go. Y ducking out of play, having a hard time getting this game-winning flip. Aqua Ferrari making them work for it. I give him that much, and he went to the other side. Sometimes can have a hard time figuring out which side of the table to go to. It's the way the car bounces once it hits the ground. So, the match will continue. Game on the line for San Antonio, one flip away from losing their straight, or their third straight. That being said, one flip away from winning their third straight is Houston. That time a clip shot. They've caught enough contact for it to not be a bad roll. They caught enough of each other, but it was not the greatest roll. Still continue. And what a matchup between these two. Aqua Ferrari trying to hang on there. Almost. Oh, that's an interference. So interference back to his own side. We continue. Touching up with your opponent. And you're just not that sure if you're going to make it. Both cars again staying alive. Good hard hit. Whoa, that time. And that one, there was a graze of contact. It wasn't much contact though. It was almost like they rubbed doors, but that was about it. So still 10-5. Match continuing. Been going on a while. That time the interference, just in case, from Y. And that time, out of play goes Y. Oh, and back to their own side they go. Still 10-5 the score. Matchup continuing. We got a long one on hand here. Ferrari and Y going at it. And yes, they will switch sides here. Could that change the complexion of things? Y and Aqua Ferrari from opposite sides. That time an interference, going to put them back to their own side. That time, kind of a bad roll. Sorry for my butt getting on the field. Just trying to bend and get cars on the ground. The biggest argument for a net is both cars again out of play. Match continues. 10-5 to score. Sometimes these games can take a while. It was once said. This one keeps on going. Aqua Ferrari and Y still battling and out of play. Both cars again finding their way to the floor. Aqua Ferrari almost getting lost on me there. But we will continue. 10-5. Match continues on. If you didn't get the score, it's been this way for quite a while. 10-5. What a matchup these two have, and it's over right there. Aqua Ferrari down. That hook kind of came separated, but he is upside down. 15-5 is the final. A hard-fought 15-5. Give it that much. But, whew, out of breath from that one, I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting old. 15, oh, that, and I'm out of shape. I am officially out of shape now, I have to say that. 15-5, the final score. And it is the Houston Oilers getting the win over the San Antonio Defenders. And only 2 games left. We'll be right on to the next one. Last game from the Eastern Conference today. The New York Empire on the road. They're trying to get the 3-0. Their opponents, well, they're the Montreal Saints, and they ain't that bad of a team. So, despite losing their last game in overtime, but we'll see what happens. Montreal and New York coming up next. Stay tuned. And we are back, CDL fans. Time for the next game on tap from the Northeast Division. We've got the New York Empire at 2-0, looking to go 3-0 to keep up with the Gowanda Outlaws. But on the home side of the field, a tough opponent, the Montreal Saints, 1-0-1, trying to get that 7th point of the season today. They could do that with the win, of course. So both teams set and ready to go. Let's get a look at the lineup. Starting with the New York Empire, they lead the way with 15 Turbo, followed by Rise and Heat at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's Black Bullet 2, and at 5-point gainer, it is Challenge. Now to the home side of the field, leading the way for the Montreal Saints, it's 24 hours. Following him out there, Black Bullet 1 at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's 46 Junior, and at 5-point gainer for the Montreal Saints is Padawan. Both teams at the ready here. Here we go. Game is on. Both cars staying up, and wow, 15 Turbo. Whoa! Doesn't like that home side. Having the issues with 15 Turbo, grabbing onto the field where he shouldn't. That was a roll that did not count. But that one does. 15 Turbo able to roll that time. Gets the flip 5-0 New York in the lead. Such a low to the ground car. It's the only one that snags the field, honestly. Everybody else does it just fine. But he's just that low. So Black Bullet 1 out there trying to contend with them now. And no interference there, came close. 10-0 New York in the lead. 15 Turbo is a beast. And that brings out 46 Junior. Almost a flip there. And almost yet again. This could be an interesting one. Lightweight, but aerodynamic offense. Getting beat by the Smash Mouth heavyweight. 46 Junior able to hang on there. So the score now 10-5. New York in the lead. Empire trying to put this away is Rise and Heat as he takes on 46 Junior. Rise and Heat, good defensive rookie, and oh, the interference there. He's going to save himself. That time, very close to interference, pretty much was. And look at this, the side starting to come undone. Timeout is called by the Montreal Saints. They want to get that tape improved. So that's what they're going to do. So the tape on 46 Junior. They attempt to fix it here. Let's see. Try and make sure everybody can kind of see the tape going on. And that's about good for now. So ready to get back into this game. That little skinny piece should be able to hold up for him. He'll be alright. Just gonna go on ahead and actually take this little extra that's right there and kind of stick it on there a little differently. That should do the trick. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to hold, right? So, after the timeout here, 10-5, New York in the lead. You know, I do apologize for the dead sound. You know, to get focused fixing the car, and this time, 46 Junior was down, but out of play. Out of play goes Rising Heat, so 10-5 still the score. That time, definitely an interference there. Rising Heat, one of the most frustrating cars for opponents because he's all over the place. He's so lightweight, so agile, gets all over the place. He's hard to flip, constantly going out of play. He makes it very difficult. But again, if we get a net involved in this league, it could be very tough for him. Could possibly be very tough for him. But out of play he goes, still 10-5. Match continuing, and he stays in play that time. A good barrel roll by 46 Junior, and that time, again, runs into his teammate. Match continuing. That time out of play, just out of reach. Rising Heat going out, still a 10-5 game. 46 Junior with every advantage in this matchup right now, except for the fact that he keeps knocking his opponent out of play. Or into his own team for the interference. But Rising Heat hanging in there. Ooh, this time very close. Very close. I have to say that as it stands right now, I did not see contact made. And I'm going to roll it a good flip. It's 10-10. But this one is under official review. So stay tuned. We're going to actually show you guys a slow motion look at this one, as a matter of fact. So we will be back. Alright, CDL fans, welcome back to the field here, and the results are in from the review. After reviewing the play on the field, the rule on the field stands. We have a good flip, and the score is indeed tied at 10. There was no interference, no contact made. The reason for the call, I did not see any contact, for one thing, and secondly, these cars back here did not move in the process. There was no like little nudge or bump. So I had no evidence to overturn that original call. So, brings out Black Bullet 2 with the nickname The Franchise, right? Out there for the New York Empire, game tied at 10. Here we go. And do a barrel roll, able to stay alive, and yet again, play the edge like it's a side, or like it's flat. And again, Black Bullet 2 staying alive, and this time, ooh, up and over, and able to stay in it. Black Bullet 2 definitely outweighed by 46 Junior, but still battling hard. My goodness, you hear the hits. These two can clack. And for that one, out of play goes Black Bullet 2. Needed some reprieve. 10-10 the score. This match continues, and again, another gray shot. All leaving at 10. One thing has become certain this season in 2021 for Lila Geyser. Her teams are pretty used to going to overtime. Could happen today here in this one. We'll see. See out of play here happen. Still 10-10. Match continuing. 46 Junior trying to get that flip to get the Saints the lead, and Black Bullet 2 not going down without a fight here. Still battling that time. Played like it's flat, but he was able to hang on, and this time Black Bullet 2 has the flip. So the Empire retake the lead. 15-10 the score. New York looking to put it away. Montreal trying to force overtime, and out there to do that for the Saints is Padawan. Padawan versus Black Bullet 2, and oh, do a barrel roll. Padawan staying alive a second time. Black Bullet 2 trying to get the flip to win this game. So they've switched sides now. Black Bullet 2 and Padawan. Game on the line. Between the Empire and the Saints, another barrel roll. You deep fry me a Tweety. We got a good match going on right here between these two sides. And out of play goes Black Bullet 2 there, back to his own side. Still 15-10, Empire in the lead. Almost sent to overtime. And this time, folks, we are heading into overtime, as Rick Jenneret would say. And a good flip right there by Padawan evens the score at 15. And yes, put it up to $60 in total. I don't know if I'm going to maybe make a thing that we do it pay it off at the end of the year, or should I pay it off over the course of the season? I don't know. Maybe leave me some insight on that. Leave a comment or something. Anyways, so the score all even at 15 as we head into overtime between the Empire and the Saints. Here we go. Challenge for the Empire, Padawan for the Saints. In OT. And here we go. Both these cars going in, and this time out of play goes challenge. So, still tied at 15. And still tied at 15 is again challenge. Ducks away out of play. Match continuing. These two cars hanging in there. Challenge has a weight advantage. Padawan more known for his defensive skills. Challenge for the smash mouth style of offense. And again, both cars ducking out of play. Catch your breath. As I must do as well. Non-stop action here between these two teams, all tied at 15. We get it back going again. Padawan able to survive, and this time a clip shot. Again, challenge. Seeks the reprieve of the floor. Seeks the shelter of the floor. I guess you could say it's that little second of rest. And some good hits here, and this time, challenge is down. It was kind of a little do-si-do toss shot by Padawan. It gets the flip, 20-15 in overtime. And that's the game. The Montreal Saints, led by Lila Geyser, getting the win over the New York Empire today. And they give the Empire their first loss of the season. And these two teams are now tied at the top of the Northeast Division, really. If we think about it. Well, actually, Gawanda's up there. Leading it now. Yeah, actually, yeah. Gawanda's the sole leader, but these two teams in second place, they got identical records now. 2 wins and an overtime loss. So both of them with 7 points. But for clear reasons, Montreal does own that tiebreaker right now. So, Montreal with a good win over New York in overtime, and we will get ready for our main event. Lila Geyser is going to be on the home side of the field again. Her San Francisco Shinobis getting ready to take on Alex Johnson and his Los Angeles Blades. Stay tuned, folks. And we are back, CDL fans. Time for the main event of our May 24th game day. About to bring it all to a close here. The Los Angeles Blades coming in with a record of 1 win and 1 loss. On the road to take on the San Francisco Shinobis, who have a complex kind of record of 1 win, or my mistake, 1 overtime loss and 1 tie. So 3 points for them, but their 3 points come from the OT loss, and the tie, LA's win, comes from a win, or 3 points come from a win. So anyways, both teams, though, with 3 points. So have I confused you enough for the day? Here we go. So we got Pink Indy Jr. leading the way for the LA Blades today, followed by Greelina at the middleman spot. The captain spot is Cove Light for the Blades, and at 5-point gainer, it's going to be Green Blades Jr. Gotta remember that Jr. Starting to look like the older Green Blaze. To the home side, Blue 512 leads the way for the San Francisco Shinobis, followed by Zapper at the middleman spot. To the captain spot, it's Spectite Jr. and at 5-point gainer, the rookie Clip Rod. So both teams set and ready to go here. Matchup is on, almost a flip off of the first go. And again, all these cars surviving. Well, these 2 cars surviving up until that point, right? Blue 512 down. 5-0 Blades in the lead. That brings out Zapper now. Zapper trying to even things up for the Shinobis. Almost went down. He was on 2 wheels. He was hanging on with 2 wheels. Almost had the flip there. Oh my goodness. As these two go back and forth, and now they're both down. 10-5. Blades in the lead. Oh my goodness. 10-5 Blades. So that now brings out Spectite Jr. trying to tie things up. Greelina going for the win. As they continue to battle here, yes, they're going to keep their own sides. Greelina against Spectite Jr. Game on the line for the Shinobis, and they come through right there. Greelina down, and we are tied at 10. So that now brings out Cove Light for the Blades. The battle with Spectite Jr., both cars staying up, and yet again, they're both staying alive. Match will continue. Oh, both cars barely hanging in there, and now they both go out of play. So, both Spectite Jr. and Cove Light going back to their own sides after they Both go out of play. You're all tied at 10. Both these cars looking for that critical 15 point, and it's LA that's going to get it. Blades in the lead now, 15-10 after Spectite Jr. gets taken down by Covelight. Covelight now going for the win against the rookie Cliprod. Cliprod trying to force overtime. Could it happen? Could the rookie take down the grizzled veteran here? Out of play he goes. It's kind of a springy little car. And he's holding his own here against Covelight right now, but he gets taken down in the end. Final score 15-10. And the Los Angeles Blades never count this team out. I mean, I really think their weakness might be playing against heavier cars, but needless to say, they can even get the win against heavier cars. I mean, Blue 512 ain't a lightweight. They get the job done today is the point. 15-10, LA Blades defeating the San Francisco Shinobis. The Shinobis, for them, it's their first regulation loss of the season. And for the Blades, on to 2-1. And that does it for our May 24th game day. Now, folks, you might have noticed I didn't put the sound effects in this one of the fans cheering or booing, and it's, you know, just really kind of takes so long to do that. Might hold off on doing that until the playoffs. I mean, unless there's like a resounding show of support for it, I guess. But I just don't think that it's overly necessary, and it takes up a lot of time to do it. It's kind of just a tedious, time-consuming thing. So, needless to say, that's why it wasn't in there. But we are not going to see another game day until the probably the 31st of May. Go on ahead and make it official now. The next 2 game days are going to be rescheduled because, again, there is a move in the process. So the May 28th game day probably going to get pushed back to May 31st, to Memorial Day. And then the June 1st game day probably going to get pushed back to June 2nd. And that's what's going to probably happen. So next week, look forward to having 3 game days going on during that course of that week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Which is kind of, you know, it's odd because during a 25th anniversary season, we're going back to how we've been doing it from 2011 all the way up to like 2016. So, should be kind of interesting in that regard. But anyways, until next week, folks, thank you for watching. Jim Holst Jr. here. Thankful for every bit of support and every view that this little CDL can get. Until next time, take care of yourself, be yourself, and as always, peace.